This podcast may contain spoilers from whatever TV show or movie is mentioned. Please listen at your own discretion. Welcome to Viewers Anonymous.
Yo, what's going on? I am Scoot Bronson.
And I am S. Foster.
That's right. You tuned in to another episode of the Viewers Anonymous podcast where we give you our very own reviews and takes of movies and TV straight out of Hollywood. What's going on with you, Brody?
Oh man, it's been a wild week, man. It's been a very, very busy week, man. Been getting a lot of shit done as far as working, goddamn. But been watching a lot of content. You know what I'm saying? Just out here chilling, man. Just trying to give people good content, man. And just trying to make this bread, to be honest with you. But how you feeling though, man? Everything been good with you?
Yeah, man, everything is great. I had a great weekend, man. You know what I'm saying? Went to go see a dope movie this weekend. Enjoy myself. Finally got my new Xbox, so I'm super excited about that. And shit, everything is on the up and up, brother.
That's what's up, man. Congratulations on the new Xbox and everything.
Appreciate that, man. You don't know how much it means to me.
Hey man, listen. I'm sitting here with no consoles right now, so you know what I'm saying. I know that's a big thing, man. But because remember I told you, man,
Absolutely.
I think I'm gonna go back to the Xbox, man. Like I haven't been on the Xbox game
Okay.
since Xbox One, man, which was a couple of years ago. But you know, I think because I was looking into getting a 5, but I was like, you know what? I said let me jump back on this Xbox real quick. So that's something I'm working on in the near future. But you know what I'm saying? I know, man. It's a big deal out here, man. Times is crazy.
Man, I finally got a chance to get one, man. I went to Best Buy and got that bad boy. And shit, the crazy part was that was the last one left.
Wow.
I ordered it online so I could pick it up same day, and it ended up being the last one left. They said they ain't gonna get another one until next week. So I ordered that mode right on time.
Right on time, boy. And then if you wouldn't
Yeah,
have ordered and
man.
just went in there, it would have been gone.
Yep. I'd have been out of luck. That's the same thing dude said. Dude was like shit. He said somebody just came in here, he said like 30 minutes ago and wanted to buy one, and he was like, we out of stock. He said the only one we got right now is actually already purchased. He said somebody coming to pick it up. And he told him, he said if it don't get picked up by, I think it was like the 7th or whatever, he can come
Hmm.
back and get it. But he was like, but by that time they had some in stock. But I was like, nah. I said I'm glad I came and got online and got that bad boy, because sheesh, man, it's tough, man, because the dope thing is like with the systems right now, like if you have like an Xbox One or if you got like a PlayStation 4, you can still play with the people that got the newer systems. It's just
Hmm.
certain games you can't play on there because they made specifically for the new system. And so
Yeah.
it's certain games like I'll be trying to play with my peoples, man, and I can't do it because you know what I'm saying. I didn't have a new joint, but I got the new joint now, so you know what I'm saying. It is what it is, and I'm excited about that.
Yeah. But hey, man, the people at Best Buy got to be more careful though, man, because you know, telling them, yo, like we got somebody that's coming to pick it up. You know, they got the last one. Man, they could have been standing outside waiting on you, man. They snuffed you when you got out to the, you know what I'm saying, to your car, man.
Hey,
They
listen.
talking too much.
Hey, listen. That that'd have been that person's last day on this earth. You feel me? If it's one thing we not gonna do with Scoots Bronson, you're not gonna separate me from no electronics. I'm gonna tell you that right now. He'd have had a better chance stealing my money than he'd have had stealing my Xbox.
Hey, take my
You know what I'm
wallet, not
saying?
my Xbox, man.
Nigga, you can have my shoes. You can't have my goddamn electronics, man. That's one thing I do not play. Those are my most prized possessions on this earth, man. Anything that has
Oh man.
a power core to it, man. Let me tell you something, man. I don't play about it, cause like with me, like so. I mean, you already know I'm a nerd. Like I'm not like a super nerd, but I'm a nerd. So like when it
Hmm.
comes to like electronics and you know what I'm saying, like shit like that, I'll be really into it. Like before I buy shit, I look at the specs. Before I buy shit, I look at the
Uh-huh.
features. Like I actually dive into it before I get it because the reason I'm getting it is for a specific reason. And so, you know what I'm saying? Like, I remember like one time during it was like one time during Black Friday, and they Walmart had some TVs on sale. You know how crazy it get during Black Friday,
Oh, yep.
and
Mm-hmm.
it was a specific TV. The original price of it was like 500. It went down to like 150, and there was only five of them left. So I get there early. I get in there. I get the TV, whatever, whatever. Man, you know this old lady tried to fight me for the TV. Talking about
Oh
I
shit.
said, ma'am, I just picked. Yeah, I told her, I said, ma'am, I just picked this up off the thing. I said, this wasn't nobody. This wasn't nobody card or nothing. She was like, you need to put that back. That's mine. I looked at that lady. I said, listen here. I said, I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna go buy it. And I said, and I hate cussing at women, but I told her, I said, you gonna leave me the fuck alone. And I walked off. You're not about to, man. Listen, that lady would have got her ass beat that day. I'd have beat her with that fucking TV, man. I be trying to tell people, man, you can't fuck with me with my electronics, bro. And then you know how I was waiting on that TV for 2 years, bro. I waited on
Oh
that
my
TV for
god.
2 fucking years, and that motherfucker finally went down to 150. I said I got to have that mug, and it was so nice, bro. 45-inch TV. It had 4K on it. It had the Roku integration on it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it had 4 HDMI ports. The motherfucker had it had the cord that goes to it's a optical cord that you could plug into certain shit. Like if you got a like a VR headset and shit, it had one of them, and it had the space for like sound bars and shit. So it had the Bluetooth thing
Mm-hmm.
for sound bars. So you know what I'm saying? Like this motherfucker was legit, man. I was like, man,
Yeah.
if you don't get the fuck away from me, lady, I'll fuck you up in this store, man.
But that's funny.
I had to beat the
That
shit
is
out that lady.
hilarious. Man. Shoeless Bronson, bud. Telling you.
Hey, man, let me tell you something. Shit get dangerous, man.
Yo, that's your new name,
It
yo.
gets real dangerous. Hey, I will listen. You think I'm playing? I will be sure. If you see me walking down the streets with a TV and some socks, just know he tried to get the TV first. Motherfucker
Oh
definitely
man.
tried to get the TV first, bro.
Hilarious. Oh man. Whew. This is a great start to the pod.
Man,
Great start.
oh, absolutely, man, absolutely, man. So, you know what I'm saying? Second episode of the week, man. Tad bit late, but you know what I'm saying? Things came up. We had to go out there and do some field research. So, you know what I'm saying? We could bring you guys a piece of what we like to do, one of our favorite segments. We call it What We Watching. We about to get into that. Let's go. What we watching?
What we watching?
All right, man. So, what you got, buddy?
Boy, I've been waiting. I've been waiting. Listen, I done had these two on deck, man. So I watched these. I got two what we watching this week. And the first one I'm gonna start with. So new movie came out on Hulu. And it's called Bruiser, right? It got dude that played in that new Mike Tyson docu series. It was a little series that they put together. And so it had him in it. It had my dude from the one black dude from Moonfall. Yeah, it was Moonfall. Had those two people in it, you know what I'm saying, this little kid. So I'm thinking, all right, let me check this movie out. So like basically the movie is it's about this kid, I think he's like 13, 14 years old, maybe 15. He might be 14 or 15 years old. And so, this family seems like everything is cool, father in the home, mother in the home, everything seemed cool. And so this kid was hanging out with because see they moved him to a new school. And so he went to go hang out with these two friends and they talking about, hey, yo, how you like the new school, blase, blase, all this type of shit. So him and the guy, because it was a girl and a guy, and so him and the guy, like the guy started like tussling with him. Shit kind of got serious, and they kind of got like in a little real fight or whatever. So he goes off and he sees this one of those boathouse joint things. So he's walking up to it, and there's this big buff ass dude, you know what I'm saying, with these dreads. So he come out and he's just talking to him. So I guess he found the dude interesting because like the next day he went to that boathouse to hang out with the dude. He was like, yo, can you teach me how to defend myself? And he basically just like kind of looked at his appearance and figured that he knew how to fight. So he's teaching him some moves or whatever, whatnot, because he said that his dad, because he asked him, like, yo, your dad won't do it for you? He was like, nah, like my dad won't really do shit like that, blase, blase. So then next thing you know, you see him meeting up with the dude's parents. You're like, the fuck? Like, why are they meeting up with him? Come to find out, he's dude's real dad. He's his biological dad. And so you like, okay, didn't see that shit coming. So then they like, yo, should we go home and tell him? So they go home and tell him, yo, that dude that you was with, he's actually really your biological dad. And, you know, but, you know, shit happened back in the day. You know, he took off and blah, blah, blah. Like they keep saying that he ran from his responsibility, but he joined the Air Force. So, but he had, the way that they put it, they kept putting him off to be like this bad guy that got short tempers and all he does is like fight people, right? But you see throughout the movie, the dude that was his, the dude that he thought was his real dad, like so his stepdad, you can see little moments where he would, you know what I'm saying, he had short tempers, you know what I'm saying, he would have a little outbursts or whatever, whatnot. So they tried to tell the little kid to really stop hanging out with his biological dad. But, you know, the more and more he hung out with him, the more and more he thought it was cool. So long story short, the dude ended up, his biological dad ended up having like these priors or whatever. He was actually like running from the law in like Las Vegas or some shit like that. And so what ended up happening is he started hearing stories about both of his dads from back in the day, and they tried to, like, his stepdad was, you know, he worked at a car, I think he owned a car dealership. So he owned a car dealership, you know what I'm saying? He's a suit and tie type of person, and he tries to get out this appearance that, you know, he's trying to have his kid, like he got the kid in private school, so he's trying to raise him a certain way and try to act like he, you know what I mean? Like he's you know what I'm saying? Try to be like a prissy type of dude. And then kind of find out when dude came back, you start seeing the layers being peeled off. Like, you know what? It seems like he was a different person back in the day because the two dudes, they were friends. So I don't know if the other dude, if the biological dad was dating her first and then got her pregnant and then left and she started dating a friend, because they knew each other. Like, it's, you know, you could tell, like they talked about when they used to hang out. So anyway, this is what pissed me off about the movie. The ending might have been the worst ending I've ever seen in my life. So, so his stepdad was like, yo, stop hanging out with dude, whatever, whatever. So dude ended up, the little boy ended up calling his real dad. He come picks him up. They having dinner or whatever at this restaurant, and everybody knew him. And so the owner of the restaurant calls the stepdad and like, yo, like they're all here, blase, blase. And so like they go up to the boy and was like, hey, why don't you come over here and sit with us? And he was like, I don't want to sit with y'all. And the dad is like, yo, y'all need to chill, back up. So they tried to force the boy away from the table because they called the biological, well, the stepdad or whatever, whatnot. So he's on his way. So he, like, his real dad flips out, grabs him by the arm, and they get in the car. He's like, well, in this truck, I'm like, yo, let's go to Miami. Like, let's just go to Miami. So they're heading to Miami, but his stepdad seen them turning down the street. And so he kept trying to call him, and he wouldn't answer the phone. So the real dad throws the phone out the window. He was like, yo, stop the car. Let me get my phone. So he's telling him to stop the car. He finally stops the car. So he gets out the car to go get his phone. Then he see his stepdad come up. So these dudes just start fighting. I'm talking about whooping each other ass. I mean, this is the longest fight. Like, this fight was so long that, dude, they were laying in the grass for like 2 minutes. And then because they was tired. And then they started that fighting again. And so little dude get in the car. Dude get in the car. He turns around. He goes to the house. He leaves them while they both out there fighting, right? So this is what I'm thinking. I'm like, okay, so we're gonna find out who won the fight by who walks into the house, right?
Right.
The movie ends. Yeah, we don't know who won the fight. We don't know if one of them dead. We don't know if anybody got arrested. We don't know shit. It just ends with the boy going into the house, leaving his two dads fighting, and the movie ends. I was like, yo, come on. I wasted an hour, 45 minutes watching this stupid ass shit that has no fucking ending. So that movie, I'm sorry, trash. Yeah. So then I'm on Peacock, right? I'm on Peacock, and I'm trying to find something to watch. There's this movie on there, and it's called Sick. And it came out last year. So, all right, you know what I'm saying? I give it a shot. Because the trailer looked all right. Because, you know, kind of like a horror movie, kind of like, you know, Alone in the Cabin type of shit. So what it ended up being was, oh, man, it was one part so funny, dude. Like, it did have one little moment, right? And only people who know will know what happened. So it's these two girls, and, like, they go to this cabin or whatever, and they was talking about, like, quarantine and this shit, because this movie was about when COVID first came out. So this movie is really a COVID-19 movie. So that's why they went to the cabin, but the girl supposed to go to the cabin by herself, but she went with her friend girl. Okay, so they hear a noise outside. And so the one girl is like, let me go check it out. And the other girl was like, no, don't do that. That'd be stupid. She was like, Jason Voorhees can be out there. And the girl said, yo, she said, that's impossible. It's Saturday the 4th.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Hey, I had to rewind that shit, boy. That was so fucking funny, bud. Hey, for the people that don't get it, Jason Voorhees, Friday the 13th, okay? She said, yo, it's impossible. It's Saturday the 4th. Hey, boy, I thought I was going to die.
Yeah.
So, all right, right. So what ended up happening is, like, this dude comes in there. He got this mask on, and, like, he's sneaking through the house, and he's taking everybody's phone off their chargers, right? So when people start waking up, you know what I'm saying? They're looking for their phone. They can't find their phone. And so then the dude starts, I think it was the dude first, because, like, then this dude shows up, just pops up. And the girl is like, yo, like, what the fuck are you doing here? And so he's like, he was like, yo, like, you know, I wanted to talk to you or whatever, whatnot. And so then he shows her this video of her kissing this dude on, like, Instagram or whatever. So he's like, yo, like, why you kissing dude? And she was like, look, I've already told you we're not dating. Basically, we just fucking. I'm just having fun. And he acting like an old bitch-made dude, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I mean, why you kissing this dude all over Instagram and all this type of shit? And she was like, yo, like, I told you, like, I don't like you like that, right? So the dude ended up staying anyway. Right? So when the killer dude comes in there, he's fucking that dude up, right? So then you start realizing, like, oh shit, like, what the fuck is going on? So then he starts going after the girls or whatnot, and you think, like, then one girl get the drop on dude. So the one girl ended up knocking the dude out, you know what I'm saying? She ended up beating his ass with, like, this something from the kitchen or whatever. So then all of a sudden, you see another guy walk in. You like, oh shit, it's two of them. And so then let me get to the conclusion, right? So what ended up happening is, so then the girl ended up escaping, seeing this lady in a car. So she stops the car. She's like, yo, she was like, this guy's trying to kill me. Like, let me in the car. And the lady's like, hold on, let me put on my mask, right? And she's like, yo, where's your mask? And that girl said, yo, fuck that mask, man. This dude trying to kill me. Let me in the car. and so she was like, wait a minute, I might have a free mask in here. So she gets a mask out of a Ziploc bag. And then she gives the girl the mask out of the Ziploc bag. Next thing you know, girl start falling asleep. She had chloroform in that shit. So you're like, oh, fuck. Like, this old lady, you thinking she's just a sweet lady driving down the street. And she ended up, you know what I'm saying, being with the dude or whatever. So then they take her back in the
Hell
house,
no.
and then this is when we figure it out, right? So then she's sitting there, and she's like, "Yo, like, what the fuck is going on? Why are y'all doing this to me?" And they was like, "Yo, you see this video of you kissing this guy?" And she was like, "Yeah, like, what of it?" She was like, "Yo, we supposed to be in quarantine or whatever." And she was like, "Man, fuck that shit. I ain't got COVID." And they was like, "Yes, you do." And so then they give this bitch a COVID test, right? They got the thing, they stick it up her nose, all this type of shit. So they waiting for it to say positive or negative, right? And then you hear, she said, "This boy that you kissing," she said, "That's my son. And he died last week of COVID." And you like, the fuck? They did this whole shit because this girl, and the test ended up coming back positive that she had COVID. And so who the people was, the first boy was her other son. The other guy was the lady's husband. And you know what I'm saying? So that's what it was. So like this family took it amongst themselves to kill this girl because they seen a video of her kissing the youngest son and he died from COVID. And they said that she gave him COVID. So that's what that was.
Let me tell you something. Before COVID had happened, if this movie would have came out, it would have been a trash ass movie. But because of COVID and how people were reacting, that is actually a great plot for a movie. That the way you described it doesn't seem like it was that bad.
No, it wasn't.
Because I'm
It
sure there
wasn't.
was some weirdos out there that was like that.
That's the whole point. Like the movie wasn't. That movie wasn't bad. Bruiser was terrible. This movie wasn't because it's like, yo, it's not far fetched. I could see some people goddamn
At all.
taking some shit like that personal and then going after people who, you know what I'm saying? Because the girl, she was, what was cool about it was she was a non-believer. She was like, man, COVID ain't gonna do nothing. You know, because there was people who were like that. And she was like, yo, like, I don't have COVID. I don't have COVID. And then they gave her the test and she ended up testing positive for COVID. And they took it amongst themselves to kill the girl. Like, no, sick wasn't that bad. And to put that line, yo, listen, I'm sorry, that line made the movie, but that shit was so fucking funny to me because you know how I am with Friday the 13th. She said, yo, Jason Voorhees is out there. She said, that's impossible. It's Saturday the 4th. I was like, yo, that's killer. But now, so Sick is on Peacock and Bruiser is on Hulu. So that's what we watching is this week. I know it was long winded. I'm sorry, but yes.
That's what's up, man. So I only got one. You know what I'm saying? I went to the movies like I told you guys earlier. And I finally went to go see Ant-Man Quantumania. I know I heard a lot of reviews about it. A lot of people were saying it was bad, but I have to say that it was actually better than, you know what I'm saying, what they were describing it to be. Jonathan Majors, hey man, this dude, bro, this dude is the future of acting. I must give him credit, man. He is really the future of acting. The way that he does the Kane villain in all of these in the movie and then in the shows that he's been in so far, he's done a hell of a job. In Loki, we seen him, and you know what I'm saying. He put on a one hell of a performance, especially for it to be that one, you know what I'm saying, particular performance that we've actually seen him in. And then, you know what I'm saying, the Ant-Man Quantumania, like he did a hell of a job in that as well. We finally actually got a chance to see him really do his thing. I think that it's going to be probably a huge step up from what we've been witness to, and I think that a lot of people have that nostalgic sickness from those previous phases with the whole Thanos and Infinity Stone series. I think that this multiverse series that they did, or this multiverse saga that they gonna put together, I think this may knock that Infinity series out the box. I'm just gonna be honest with you because with Jonathan Major and what he's doing, he is going to put some shit to shame, bro. The fact that like the acting that he's giving this movie is ridiculous. Like it, you know what I'm saying? Like most people they don't give you know what I'm saying, like superhero movies or like certain action movies a level of acting that it, you know what I'm saying, that it is probably supposed to have, he's giving all that and more, bro. Like he really showing his ass. Paul Rudd, as usual, does a hell of a job. The rest of the cast, you know what I'm saying, they do their thing. You had a small little, you know what I'm saying, cameo from Bill Murray, which was great. Um, and then, you know what I'm saying, it tells about some things about the quantum realm that, you know what I'm saying, we might have to get used to coming down in these next few movies and TV shows. So I'm not gonna lie, man, it kind of restored my faith back in the MCU, and it kind of put it up there. Like my expectations are back to high with the MCU this year. I think we're gonna see some shit that is going to knock our socks off for sure.
That's what's up, man. I haven't seen that yet. I did go to the movies this weekend, but I'm gonna save that um for next week or
Hmm.
whatever, whatnot. But before we get into the feature presentation, man, I just want to give a real quick shout out to Zendaya, man. The news came out this week that she redid her contract with
Yep.
Euphoria. This girl is getting a cold meal per episode. And when I tell you that
Hey,
shit
man.
is well fucking deserved, I know you never got into the show, but when I tell you that shit is
Yeah.
well deserved, but she fucking kills it on that show, yo. Like I know it's not your realm, but Euphoria is a great fucking show. In the job that she does playing Rue,
Hmm.
she definitely deserves it. She's the highest paid woman in a TV series, show, thing or whatever. Like she's the first person to get 1 million per episode. So shout out to Zendaya, man, before we get started.
Yeah, big shout out to Zendaya, man. To know where she came from, you know what I'm saying? Coming off of the Nickelodeon and Disney scene, a child star, to, you know what I'm saying, grow into, you know what I'm saying, this amazing actress, and to put in the work that she's put in, and to put out, you know what I'm saying, some of the great performances that she's put out. And then not only that, you know what I'm saying, to work herself into getting $1 million an episode. Like the last time we heard some shit like that was Friends. You know what I mean? So um, that's dope as hell. It's good to see, you know what I'm saying, her not be in any scandals or be in any trouble. She's one of the ones that, you know what I'm saying, when you hear about her, it's always something good. It's always something, you know what I'm saying, record setting and trend setting and record breaking. So salute to Zendaya, man. It's always great to hear, you know what I'm saying, that somebody's out there really putting in that work and getting the reward that they deserve for it, for sure.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. So, man, Snowfall season 6, the season finale, episode 3, man. They brought us a heavy one this episode. Um, Leon and Wanda came back, and
Hmm.
well, you know, it wasn't all too good for Wanda. Um, and I guess you could kind of say the same for Leon. It really wasn't too good for him either. Tensions are high in the Saint family right now. Um, they didn't really do a lot with Teddy and Gustavo and all them. This kind of more centered around Franklin, Leon, you know what I'm saying, and their relationship, you know what I'm saying, Leon coming back. And you know what I'm saying, he went off to Africa, they end up getting married, you know what I'm saying, they end up kind of adjusting to the life. They were in Ghana. So while things were getting heated and going crazy over there in California, Leon and Wanda were living a very peaceful and set life in Africa. Um, so they decided to leave Ghana after getting married and go back to try to, you know what I'm saying, make sure everything was okay, and try to set up something to where people would start, you know what I'm saying, hopefully migrating over to Ghana and living a life that, you know what I'm saying, they had kind of started to experience. What did you think of this episode? You know what I'm saying? Like what was some stuff that stuck out to you, so on and so forth? What's up?
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna do it all right now because it's gonna be way too long winded. Like I thought that this was a really, really, really good episode, and there was a lot of shit that stood out to me. But for starters, man, just the whole thing of like Leon, like them dedicating the first like 10 minutes, 10 to 12 minutes to Wanda and Leon. I thought that was dope. Showing them their experiences in Ghana. I had a feeling that they was gonna show like I've heard Ebro talk about it on Ebro in the morning when he goes to Ghana, and he was just saying that there's that building that they showed where like this the door that they call it the door of no return or something like that. I believe that's the name of it, and it's just basically the building where like they sold the slaves or whatever, and like once you walk through that door, like you was never to be seen again, basically. And so so that door is called the door of no return. And so seeing the conversations between them two, and then like how deep they got with the slave stuff, and Leon having a conversation of saying that me selling crack is like kind of like worse than slavery or whatever, whatnot. Because he was like the people who escaped slavery, they never had to look back again. Well, got out of slavery, didn't have to look back again. But he was like, yo, but if you are a crackhead, you always looking back. So I thought that scene was an eye opener, man. With Leon going through what he's going through and having a change of heart, and Wanda not wanting to leave because she's like, yo, there's nothing back there for me in America. Because she, like, the whole time she's trying to convince Leon of like never even going back, like to get their stuff or anything. Like she just wants to live her life and with Leon in Ghana and just leave America in the review or whatever, whatnot. Because what you got to understand about Wanda is the fact that Wanda, with her being, a crackhead for like 2 seasons, maybe three, there's a lot of heartache there. Like there was a scene that was being shown where she went when she got back, she went to her grandmother's house, and she's like, hey grandma. She was like, yo, like, what do you want? So like, can I come in? And she was like, no. And she was like, yo, like, where's my pearls? And she was like, I don't know. And she was like, yeah, you probably sold them, whatever, whatnot. So Grams ain't forgot the fact that Wanda stole her pearls, that Wanda beat on her, she cussed her out, and all this type shit. So Grandma's like, done. And she was like, yo, I bought you this necklace from Ghana. And she was like, if you want to leave it on the knob. Other than that, basically, I don't want nothing to do with you. And like, I think that what Wanda was worried about when she kept saying like, yo, like there's nothing for me there, because she burned so many bridges by being a crackhead that nobody really want to fuck with her anymore but Leon. So I understood that whole part, but like the realness and you know Leon actually marrying her, getting her on the right path, because he always felt guilty that she ended up being, what I'm saying, on crack or whatever, whatnot. And we saw that man, what's that girl name? Franklin's ex-girlfriend. I forget her name. But she was able to turn her life around and get off of the drugs. And Wanda was able to turn her life around and get off of the drugs as well. So that is a nice thing to see. But the whole Ghana scene, the whole wedding, and all of that type shit, all of that was really really good to see, because I think Leon is a guy who he honestly fully regrets doing what he was doing. Um, and I don't think now the turning point was killing that kid by accident. Like if you watch the show, that was really the turning point for Leon. And for him to have for him to go to Africa and for him to have those conversations with Wanda that he's having with her is it's really really deep, man. Like this episode was a really really deep episode. And the other thing that really got me was when Leon went to go visit. Now he went to go visit everybody. He went to go visit I forget what big dude name is, but he went to go meet with him, and he went to go meet with Louis and Jerome, and he also went to meet with
You
Franklin.
talking about You talking about D?
D, yeah, he went to meet with D. And the whole meeting with D, okay, that is what it is. And then the smart dude with the glasses was the one who um filled Leon in on everything that he's been missing while he's been gone. But what really got me was, and it really
Right.
disappointed me, is to see the person that Jerome has become. And for him to go at Leon the way that he did, I did not like it. I understand tensions are high, but for
Yeah.
him to, first of all, Leon's never gonna forget about shooting that kid. But for him to bring it up in the content
Absolutely.
and the way that he, like the context that he did, that was fucked up. And I get that he kind of look at it like, yo, as soon as shit get hot around here, you leave. I get that. But I don't think that was Leon's intention on leaving right before a war starts. I think that once he knew he was going to go to Africa, he just took one and went to Africa. I do not believe that he knew that was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
just for him to talk to him the way that he did when he gave him a gift and told him what the meaning of that gift was, and for him to take that bullshit out of here with you, it's just like, come on, man. It's like, I know you mad at Franklin, but to be like, yo, Franklin used you and he used me, and because you shot that kid, now you got to change your heart and all that type of shit. It's just like, Jerome, to me, Jerome has been a person that he's not. You know what I'm saying? I think that, yeah, he's upset, but I honestly believe, man, this is a lot of Louis doing, man. I think Louis really got this dude fucked up, man. I really do.
Well, I don't necessarily think, what I'm saying, it's all of Louis. I kind of think that, what I'm saying, with Jerome, man, he's going through something that throughout the series we've heard a lot of times, or not really a lot, but we've heard multiple times about how, what I'm saying, he basically got put on by his nephew. And
Hmm.
what what I'm saying, like him being who he was at first, and him, what I'm saying, doing what he was doing at first, especially in those times, that's kind of off-putting if you keep hearing that over and over again, because in a weird way, it's kind of like demeaning and emasculating, right? And
Hmm.
so with him having to deal with that and having to hear that over and over again, and then you turn around and it's like, even when, what I'm saying, like your nephew had went down for a little bit, you wasn't even the one that ended up in charge. Your girl was the one in charge. So it's kind of like having that sidekick syndrome in the weird sense. You know what I'm saying? And
Yep.
I feel like he's had it to the point to where he's had to do things that he's probably never wanted to do a day in his life. You know what I'm saying? And we kind of seen, what I'm saying, him kind of becoming an unhinged character. Even in, what I'm saying, the first couple episodes when they premiered this season, with him, what I'm saying, beating and killing Black Diamond. That's not anything that, what I'm saying, we ever expected Jerome to do. In a weird way, it was kind of out of his character. And you know what I'm saying? Like, so to see that, I think that Jerome is kind of becoming unraveled, first and foremost, because, what I'm saying, like he said in, what I'm saying, the diner, him having, came back home and what I'm saying, tried to help take care of his sister, and then not only that, he, what I'm saying, raised his nephew, and what I'm saying, tried to do right by his family, only to, what I'm saying, have to come to this point. That really messed with him. And remember, when Franklin put that gun on him, the first thing he said is, "Do it. Take me out of my misery." He wasn't saying it like he was bluffing, or I mean, not bluffing, but calling his bluff. He was damn near like begging for him to do that. And so, like, to me, I kind of think that what we're gonna see later on in these other episodes is we really gonna see Jerome kind of like have, what I'm saying, some breakdown. As far as Leon goes, you know, to me, I feel like he had a small sense because he was, what I'm saying, he did kind of leave before everything kind of got heated. But to me, I felt like he kind of had the vision that nobody else had, you know, and then he had a certain impact on his life that nobody else had either. Because, like you said, you know what I'm saying, he ended up killing that little girl, and like, yo, regardless of what people think and regardless of what people say, like, that's something that will have a major effect on you. You think just killing a person to have a major effect on you? Imagine you killing a child, you know what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
unknowingly. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And that wasn't even something you was trying to do. And so him having to deal with all that, him going through all that, I kind of understand what Leon was going through. That, like, yo, after a while, bro, you don't want to keep having to go back and forth with people, wondering if, you know what I'm saying, somebody gonna come shoot you, or wondering if you gotta, you know what I mean, you gotta walk around with somebody every day just to make sure, you know, that they got your back. And like, yo, that shit become tiring after a while, and that kind of wears down on your physical, your mental, you know what I'm saying, as far as emotionally, that kind of messes you up. And so we were starting to see that with Leon's character too, because he had an internal struggle that he had to deal with that nobody else was even showing any kind of light to, or showing any kind of, you know what I'm saying, awareness to. And he was the only one that was really dealing with it. You know what I'm saying? His mom was gone. He didn't have no dad. He really didn't have no family. You know what I'm saying? His brothers and sisters was out the way. So I mean, like, the Saints was really his only family. And so for him to have to deal with that, and for him to have to go through that, you know what I'm saying? That's a tough thing. Um, and then with Wanda, you know, it's tough on her because, you know, she finally got over the addiction. She finally got her life back in order. She getting her shit right. And then to have to go back and kind of, you know what I'm saying, deal with that and be around people who are still living in that, you know what I'm saying, environment, and seeing her for not who she is now, but what she was at one point in time, you know what I'm saying, that's kind of tough, bro. So for me, I mean, I don't know, man. I think what Jerome did wasn't too bad, because I don't blame that on Jerome's, um I don't blame that on the situation really at hand. I just feel like that right now Jerome is in a place, and I feel like what's going on is kind of foreshadowing it. I feel like, you know what I'm saying, what Jerome said to Leon, and what he, you know what I'm saying, the way he kind of treated Leon, is that he's just in the space to where, bro, he's eventually going to break. And I feel like his breaking point is going to come sooner rather than later.
True. And you brought up a good point a second ago by saying that Leon looked at them as real family, and for him to say, look at what this is gonna do to Sissy, you know what I'm saying, blase blase. And he's like, yo, you ain't family, little nigga. And it's like, wait a minute. He's like, what you mean by that? Because like Leon was always looked at as family. And for Jerome to say that in that
Absolutely.
moment, it was just like, you know what I'm saying? That shit hurt. I mean, you could tell that it hurt Leon because he was like, wait a minute, like what do you mean by that? Like, yeah, I know I'm not blood with y'all, but I was always looked at and considered as family. And for him to say
Yep.
that like that, it's just like, come on, Jerome, man. It's like you've gone too far, but like you said, there's a breaking point that's ahead for Jerome. And you also
Yeah.
brought up that point when
Yeah.
he wasn't bluffing with Franklin about actually shooting him. Like because he's just really like, yo, like I'm tired of this. Like I really want this shit to be
Yeah.
over. Like he never wanted to get into that game in the first place, and he kind of went in.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying, under the pretenses of like, all right, yo, we gonna make some money, we gonna have fun, blase blase. But even though he got all this money, well, semi, because you know what I'm saying, he went and Saint or Franklin went and robbed him, whatever. But like, yeah, like they had all this money, but I don't think Jerome was never happy. I don't think he was ever satisfied with the things that you were saying. Like for the fact of like, yo, the nephew is the one who's running it. He gets shot. Who steps up? Louis steps up. So you brought up a lot of good points there, and I think Jerome is just tired of it, man. I think you know what I'm saying. He's just in a
You,
situation where it's really a tough
you
place
know
to
what I
be in.
absolutely, and you know what else I forgot about, man? And I didn't even think about this. It may be, and just follow me on this. It may
Okay.
be some type of resentment towards Leon too. because Leon was actually able to get out and go away and get and escape what was going on. Because remember when him and Louis was riding the horses, he told Louis, hey, I think we should just, you know what I'm saying, get this money up and just get out of this shit and go live our own life somewhere and get away from all of this. Remember, he was trying to get away too.
Yep. You're right. You're right. It is definitely that can be a thing. I think that yes, man. I'm telling you, man. Like we good at this shit, yo. That is a great point.
Absolutely.
I think he is upset with like the fact that like because he was like, yo, you go to Africa, you come back and you rub it in our face. It's like what the fuck you mean? Like I just went to Africa to, you know what I mean, to see the continent,
Yeah.
to you know what I mean, you know, like he wasn't bragging about it. Like he brought you a gift that had meaning. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And you know, and you just kind of spit in his face. And you know what? That is a great point. And maybe also the fact that Leon was kind of number two in a way, when he
Yeah.
was in it.
Yep.
But I think it's more so what you said. I think it was the fact that Leon was able to leave and he could have stayed gone, but he wanted to come back to kind of fix things. And I get the reason why he wanted to come back and fix things with people because I think that it means something to Leon to be able to either, you know, years down the road to reach out to them like, yo, I want you to come out to Africa to visit, or a situation where it's just like he don't want people to be like, yo, Leon just completely dipped out and just never came back ever again. Like I think that he wanted to get things straight with everybody and then leave. And I think that's what he was trying to tell Wanda. Like, you know, let's go home, get this shit figured out first, and then we'll come back. I think that he didn't want to leave on bad terms with people. And man, you brought up a good point. But we can't stay on. I mean, we've been on this for a minute, but I disagree with you on one thing that you said. I think that this whole little operation of Teddy and Gustavo going to Croatia, I think that's important. Like with them going down there doing that, another thing, you know, we haven't seen that Teddy in a while. You know what I'm saying? Where, you know what I'm saying, to see him, I don't know, 200, 300 yards away, giving people headshots. You know what I'm saying? Like my guy
Yeah.
Bodie James said, catch him up top, come with a plus and a bonus. Um, and
Mm-hmm.
then, you know, walking up to the one dude that Gustavo shot to, you know what I'm saying, to wound him and not kill him to see if the dude was gonna give him some answers. And then the dude didn't give him no answers to see Teddy pump two in his chest and have these other dudes, you know, get everything together. And then he finds out through a fucking boat or whatever, he screwed the top off and found this hidden letter. And he was like, yo, I don't know who it says. Well, I don't know what it says, but I could tell who wrote it, and it was Russians. And so to find out like
Yeah.
that Russia is messing around with Croatia, really kind of fucking up, you know, some of the shit that they got going on between these wars or whatever, whatnot. And like Teddy's like, yo, like Russia can fuck up this whole, you know what I'm saying, operation. I think that's not nothing
Absolutely.
small, man. And then also you got to consider with Gustavo, you know what I'm saying, messing around with DEA. Now they got Louis on pictures, you know, doing a drop with him. So I don't think that this was a
Mm-hmm.
quiet episode for Teddy and Gustavo, man.
Um. And so you are definitely right to a point. And the only reason I said it was a quiet episode, it wasn't necessarily because of, they, my whole thing was just saying like they weren't focused in on as much in this episode, right? Like, because if you look at the way the episode starts off, the episode kind of starts off with, what I'm saying, Leon and Wanda, and then for the most part, the episode is mainly just showing you Leon and Wanda's return. At the end of it is where we kind of get Teddy and Gustavo, going to see, doing the ambush or whatever.
Yeah.
And You know what I'm saying? Like that was really my point in saying it was kind of a quiet episode for them because usually they're flipping back and forth between those two storylines. This one, it was just like a solid couple minutes and then boom, you know what I'm saying? It was over with after everything was said and done. Now, the interesting thing you did bring up was the fact that Teddy now knows that the Russians are involved. And what's interesting to me about all of this as well is that this is at, you know what I'm saying, the height of the Cold War. And so I want to see how they're going to implement that into this story as well, because, you know, the whole Contra thing and Operation Desert Storm and all of that, that's all been in the background throughout this whole series as we've been watching it. What's interesting now is now that we got KGB involved, we got DEA involved, we got CIA involved. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure that we had at one point it was FBI involved. What what is, you know what I'm saying? Like, how are they going to deal with the fact that all of these government agencies are intermingling in this technically local story, right? And
Mm-hmm.
how are they going to make that appear to be a part of these storylines? Because what's interesting is it seems as if everybody is connected in one way or another to a government entity, right? So
Yep.
you got the Saints who are connected to, I believe Teddy is what, CIA?
Yes, Teddy was CIA.
Okay, yeah. So okay, he was CIA, but he's still kind of in and out working with the
Yeah.
CIA. And
Hmm.
then you got Gustavo working with the DEA, and then you have the Saints also working with, well, some of the Saints working with the KGB. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure the FBI is not too far behind all of this. So, like, what are they going to be showing us within these next, you know what I'm saying, few episodes, and what is going to be a possibility of what we can see. And then we still haven't even got back to Veronique and her mom yet. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? They still haven't even gotten us back there yet. We still gotta see how that plays out, because like I said in the last episode, you know what I'm saying, that we talked about Snowfall. Yo, Veronique is looking real snaky right now.
Man, I'm trying to tell you,
You know what I'm
she
saying? She
is.
looking real
Mm-hmm.
snaky right now, man. Before she got on that plane, it was some different energy about her.
Mm-hmm. It was, and like even now, man, like even now, like at that little dinner joint, when Leon, not Leon, when when Franklin went to go meet them, and he was like, "Yo, like y'all was having a good time," you know what I'm saying, before I came or whatever, whatnot. It's just like one of them things where it's just like, "Yo, we were talking about you, and then you showed up, and we got quiet real quick." You know what I'm saying? It's just like I
Absolutely.
felt, I felt like, you know what I'm saying, they was talking about, they was in communication about their plan. In my eyes, they communicating about the plan that they're gonna do, and then Franklin showed up, and it's just ha ha, and then it's like then you just chill. Something was being said at that table, and I think that what I said last episode, or what the last Snowfall episode, is the fact of I think they're cooking something up, man. I really do. I think they're cooking something
I
up.
agree.
I feel like this is what they have been doing all their lives. Like she's been using her daughter,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, to either get close to men as like maybe the man being a father figure, because I mean, something in that round. And I think that they just been scheming people. And for Franklin to
Right.
know that like that's her background, that's why I always say like, yo, something is funny here. And I think that Veronique and her mom did it the smart way, having her daughter go to law school, what I'm saying, being a really intelligent person. But I think that there's like a greed factor that's there, because I think that being a lawyer, Veronique can make good money just doing that. But the fact that she got
Yeah.
her being a lawyer and also scheming people, I'm telling you, man, I've always thought that there was something fishy about that girl. Like it never made sense. Even even like that's the one thing that I think that they did do bad by not really explaining the whole Veronique thing. You know, just for me, like, dude,
Yeah,
if I wouldn't have watched that Breakfast Club interview with Dancing Interest, I never would have knew that storyline. So it's just
right.
like maybe y'all should have showed that in a flashback, or at least mentioned it more in the show, saying that the way that he met her in the first place. And then my question is, did she step to him and was like, yo, I can help you, you know what I'm saying, get through this situation or what? Like, we don't know if he looked her up or what. We don't really know how that went down. But yeah,
Right.
that's a very, very snaky thing. But also with Leon, like I mentioned, Leon went to go meet D, and you know D's catching him up, and like he's saying shit to Leon. It's like that's not making sense. He's like, yo, like why would Franklin want to kill you? He was like, I don't know. He was like, man, because I'm making money. He's like, why the fuck do he care about your money? He was like, you know, because he don't have his money no more, whatever, whatnot. He's like, look, like he ain't made that way. He was like, he gonna get his own money. Like Leon is kind of looking at it like, yo, what you're saying don't make no sense. It's like Franklin wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
do the shit that you're saying. And so he think that that shit is kind of snaky. We talked about him meeting with Louis and Jerome, but like his meeting with Franklin, which I think is interesting, and this is what I've been wanting to ask you. So we all know that Franklin is down to his last. You know what I'm saying? He don't really have
Right.
anybody in this corner, and then the two people that he got in this corner, I know he got to feel a little fishy about it. So
Absolutely.
Leon to show up with burgers and stuff, they eating burgers, and Franklin gave him the real, but he also gave him out, and that also shows that Franklin looks at Leon as a brother. You know what I'm saying? For him to be like, look,
Mm-hmm.
if you back, you back, and if you gonna stay back, unfortunately, like I know you going through what you going through. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot on your mind, but basically what he's saying is, yo, you're gonna have to if you're gonna stay, you're gonna have to pick a side. And he was like, you're gonna have to pick a side or get you and your wife, get on a plane and get the fuck out of here. See, he could have
Absolutely.
just he could have just been like, yo, you need to pick a side and that's it. But he gave him that out. Like, if you don't want to pick a side, get on a plane and leave. Like he didn't threaten to kill
Yeah.
him. He didn't, you know what I mean? It was none of that. Like he gave him that choice of yo, like you can dip out of here and you can be fine and you can live your life and don't have to worry about this shit ever again. Because he's like, yo, like my back is against the wall and I don't have anybody.
Right.
So what did you think about that conversation and with Franklin giving him an out if he wants an out?
I thought that was noble of Franklin. I thought that was super noble of Franklin, and you know what I'm saying, because of everything that they went through. I think that kind of gave Franklin, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, the the honesty to give him, you know what I'm saying, sort of that olive branch. Like, listen, man, you know what I'm saying. Right now, shit is really hitting the fan. You know what I'm saying. I wouldn't even be mad at you if you decided to go back and be where you was at. You know what I'm saying. You away from everything. You out the way. This may be the best thing for you. And you know, truth of the matter is that he knows that Leon is a ride or die. He knows Leon is gonna go out his way and do things, you know what I'm saying, for Franklin that nobody else is going to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's you know what I'm saying, that in itself is different. You know what I'm saying? That's something that nobody else it was ever willing to do or even really out here doing for Franklin. And for you know what I'm saying, for him to be so, you know what I'm saying, open and honest about everything, it kind of show you, you know what I'm saying, where Franklin head is. I think that I think that, you know what I'm saying, he's basically like, hey man, look, I love you, bro, but you gotta, you know what I'm saying, you gotta get out of here. And I think that's really what it is. I think that he kinda wants Leon to go back, you know what I'm saying, to where he was and to, you know what I'm saying, get out of this shit, bro. Like somebody has it out, and I feel like, you know what I'm saying, he feel 1,000 times better if at least one person got out.
Yeah, and then I think that he's seen the hurt in Leon, you know what I'm saying, when that kid died. And then they had to go and fix that relationship with Scully and all of that type shit. So, and then for the girl, the mother of the little girl that had a drop on them, and then she ended up dying and whatnot. So it's that I thought that scene was, if for them to end the episode that way, I thought that I thought the writing for episode 3 was really good. I think that it was well executed. Like showing us like when the dude with the glasses was telling that whole back backstory of like what's been going on while Leon's been gone, showing Louis and them getting hit at the hotel, showing Franklin House and in the real estate office getting hit, and then showing Louis Club getting
Hmm.
shot up. You know what I'm saying? Showing all of that while dude is telling Leon, and then the whole thing of Franklin being in the bathroom and trying to kill D, which I don't know. Did that feel funny to you? Because think about it. I don't know where D was, but why would Franklin have a gun without a silencer and shoot this dude while he's taking a shit, and then two officers can just walk in? I don't
Well,
know about that,
I don't
man.
think that. Nah, like okay, so I don't think he expected the officers to walk in, and even then, I think he was kind of second guessing even killing D in that scene, the way everything looked. That's if that even was about to happen, because I don't think that that was real. What I think is
See,
if
yes,
you go back and if you go back and watch that scene, and you know what I'm saying, you kind of watch D and what he was saying, he it seemed as if he was trying to create this image of himself that he was something that he really ain't. You know what I'm
yes,
saying? And maybe I'm just bugging too, but
nope,
like to me, that's what I seen. So like when I seen that, I seen the fact that, you know what I'm saying, he was talking to, you know what I'm saying, Leon a certain way, you know, like he was telling Leon like, yeah, you know, you come work for me, and you know what I'm saying, your boy, you know what I'm saying, he ain't got no money and da da da. And he's saying something to Leon, but Leon looking at it like, oh, you really don't got no idea. Like you really don't even know what's really going on behind the scenes. Like he don't that little money don't mean nothing for real, because really, you know what I'm saying, without him knowing what's going on, like yo, he can really get all of it back. And so I kind of looked at that like, you know, maybe it's something to it that, you know what I'm saying, not only are they just not showing us, but you know what I'm saying, I think D is gonna be one of them people that they're gonna have to get rid of.
I mean, yeah, like even when they showed the before the episode came on, like they showing you like the little recap joint, and like
Mm-hmm.
when Leon, told him that he was out, and D was like, "Yo, so I'm in charge." And then like you see a clip when he was playing dominoes, and then he was like, "Domino, nigga," then start shooting in the air, and he's just like looking and shaking his head
Mm-hmm.
like. And then even Wanda said it. She was like, "Yo," she was like, "What do you think happens when you give a bunch of hood rat $1 million?" You know what I'm saying? She was like, basically, like, what did you expect? Like, what did you think that that their attitudes was gonna change? You know what I'm saying? Like, you
Right.
just giving dudes money, like that's like, you know what I'm saying? That's like giving a baseball player steroids. You know what I mean? Like D's ego,
Absolutely.
for him just being in charge and getting money and still having that same hood mindset, but not even being conscious enough to know that why would you just shoot a gun in the air to draw attention to yourself? You know, and Leon's looking at it like, yo, like me and Franklin, we did this shit in silence. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? We move like lasagna, and like as soon as you get some power, you know what I'm saying? Like Frank Lucas say, you know what I'm saying? You the loudest person in the room. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, this is a recipe of getting caught. So I think that you're right, man. I think that the way D was talking, because like he was like, yo, why would Franklin want to do it? He's like, I don't know. It's like, yeah, of course. Like, you're talking, but you don't even know what you're talking about. Like, you just talking shit
Right.
with no word, but you know what I'm saying? No words of meaning is coming out of your mouth. So yeah, I don't know if that scene was necessarily real. But yeah,
Yeah.
like yeah, this episode, man, it was a really good episode, a deep episode. We really didn't get Sissy in this episode. Um, so there's really nothing there. We didn't get Teddy's girl, you know what I'm saying, because they was in Croatia or whatever, whatnot. But it's gonna be interesting to see what the DEA is gonna do with those pictures, with Louis, because they said that they was moving on Teddy in like a week or something like that. So it's gonna
Yeah.
be interesting when episode 4. I haven't seen nothing yet, but it's gonna be interesting to see, are they gonna move on Teddy in this episode, and is Teddy gonna have some kind of heads up if he's gonna know that something's gonna happen? Is Gustavo, is his cover blown? I mean, you know what I'm saying? You also got to consider, with Louis, if they step to Louis and be like, yo, like, we see you in this picture, then she's gonna be like, okay, like, if you got me here, where the fuck is Gustavo? Because I'm getting drugs from him. You know what I mean? So then, she could figure, maybe she could find out he's a snitch. It's everything is hitting the fan. That's the one thing that's good about what's going on,
Absolutely.
is the fact of like, yeah, we show you the high life, we show you everything, all the fun parts and all this type shit. It's showing us the downfall. And like, it's just funny to see how these pieces are gonna fall. That's I think that this is a
Right.
good setup for that.
I agree, man. I think we're gonna see some you know what I'm saying, some big things this year. I think we're gonna see a lot of I mean this year, I'm sorry, this season. I think we're gonna see a lot of twists and turns, which I'm actually excited about. But yeah, man, it's gonna be a dope one, man. I honestly can't wait for the next episode.
Yes, sir, man. Same here, man. Same here.
All right, man. So we got that out the way. Let's go ahead and what I'm saying, get into the coming soon.
Yes, sir.
Coming soon to own on video and DVD.
So what we got next, man?
Man, what we got next is, I could be wrong on this, but I feel like this is our first one. So we have been asking people, fans, whatever, to give us suggestions. You know what I'm saying? Like, we take time in, putting together future movies, upcoming movies, all that type shit. And we had, I believe this might be our first suggestion. I mean, I know we probably had people like, yo, like, y'all need to do this movie at some point or whatever, whatever. But like, so I had someone come up to me, shout out to Jazz, and they were just like, yo, y'all need to do People Under the Stairs. And I was like, cool. I was like, I've never seen it, but I brought it to your attention. You was like, yo, that's a dope movie. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let's do it. So we're doing a fan's choice movie, which is People Under the Stairs. I can't give y'all a rundown because I've never seen it. So this is going to be my first time watching it. So that's what we got coming up for the next episode.
Yeah, man, this is one of those ones that I enjoy. I think you gonna dig it personally. You know what I'm saying? It's made by Wes. Well, it's directed by Wes Craven. So you know what I'm saying. It's one of them ones that you gonna definitely be into. So yeah, y'all stick with us. You know what I'm saying? Keep an eye out, keep your ear out. Y'all gonna love it. I promise y'all, man. This and make sure y'all watch it too. You know what I'm saying? Like it'll be like a little companion app after that, man. So until the next episode, ladies and gentlemen, you know what I'm saying? If you guys are enjoying what we're talking about, and if you enjoy, you know what I'm saying, what we did, you know, you can hit us up and let us know. On our socials on Instagram and Twitter at View9 Pod. You can also hit us up on Facebook at VA Pod Watch Group. And then also, man, feel free to you know, follow me on Twitter at Scoots Brunson. Um, I got a link tree in my bio. You can find me everywhere else there.
Yep, and I am s.foster8 on Instagram and on Twitter at 28 minutes or less pod. That's just on Instagram. Follow the podcast 28 minutes or less. Cooking up something, so be on the lookout for the next episode. And that's all I got, man.
All right, man. Y'all, listen, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for listening. It's greatly appreciated. Without you guys, we couldn't, you know what I'm saying, do this. So, until the next episode, you know what I'm saying? Like they say in Hollywood, man, that's a wrap.
Cut.